Hey guys, welcome back. How are you? I hope you are fine and doing well. In this lecture, we will discuss about the importance of partials. However, I already created few lectures to explain that what is partial and what are the importance of partial in Rails. Okay, but in this lecture, we will see that what impact we can get with partial in our code template. Okay, so let me show you that here you can see that this is my timesheet, and if I had to see timesheet for individual project, here you can see that if I click on the view timesheet for this project, I can see these cards. So it is showing total task, total time spent, and total working days. These are the card elements, and if I click on the timesheet of this project, I can again see these cards. Okay, so this is the implementation of these cards in this template. Here you can see that I used three cards here. Okay, and these three cards are almost similar, just their headings and the description of the cards are different. Okay, so what we can do here, that we can use partials to refactor our view chunks. So here you can see that we can use one line or a partial, render a partial to remove all the cards, and we can do that in much simpler way. So let's do that. How we can do that? So the first approach is like we can create a partial and render with the local variables here. Okay, so here we can create a partial, and the partial file that we already know that how to create partial. So partial always start with the underscore, and here we can create project cards dot html dot erb. Okay, and here what we can do, that you can see that this is the card element, and we can just copy this card element and we can paste in this project cards. Okay, and just correct the indentation. And here what we can do, that instead of total task, we can use the local variable, let's say card title. Okay, and here what we can do, let's say card details. Okay, and then we can render this partial via passing the local variable. So just remember one thing, that this is how we can create partial. This is our partial, and these are the local variables that we need to pass from the place where we are trying to render this partial. Okay, and now what we can do, that we can render this partial here. So the partial rendering syntax will be like render, and then employees, then timesheets, and then the partial name is project cards. Okay, and now we need to pass local variable. So local is like card title that we used here. Here you can see that we use this card title and card details. So the card title we can provide here is like total task. You can provide it here, and then you can use card details, and card detail will be this instance variable. Okay, so let's pass this here from here, and now you can remove this card. Okay, and similarly you can just change the value of local variables, I mean the card title and card details here, and you can use these card for these card elements as well. So here you just need to change the value total time spent, and then there is the total time spent here. Okay, and then this total work days. So change this local variable, and then this total working days instance variable to the card details. Okay, and now you can remove both these card elements from the page. Okay, so remove it and save the page. Okay, and now you just need to refresh your browser, and you can again see that I'm still seeing the same cards data here, and if I go to the other page and refresh, I still see the same card. So this is the power of the partial. So what we did here, that we created a partial and we rendered this three times. Okay, for all the card elements. Okay, so this is one way to refactor your view chunk. Okay, now you can use ruby data structure, I mean ruby hashes, to refactor this partial rendering as well. I mean here you can see that we did it three times. But what we can do, that we can save these card titles and card details local variables in a hash in a key value pair, and then we can iterate through those hash, and we can just use a single render line. Okay, and now let me show you what we need to do here. So here what we can do, let's say here we can do card details or card items. Okay, and then you can create the hash here. Okay, and in the hash what you need to do, that here you can see that we have this card details, so total tasks. Okay, so what you can do here, let's say total tasks, this should be as the key. Okay, and then provide its value like this, total number of tasks. Okay, and then you can use other key of the hash as total time spent. Okay, and then paste it here, and then this at the rate total time spent, and then total work hours is equal to at the rate total working days. Okay, so now this is the better approach. But now how we can use that on the what we can say, how we can use this on the view. So here you can see that we defined these card items as the instance variable. Now what we need to do, just go to this project timesheet.html or whatever your page is. Okay, so here what we need to do, that at the red card items, and now we need to iterate hash. Okay, we all know that we can use each iterator to iterate the array, but we can use the same each iterator to iterate the our hash elements as well. And we know that in the hash all the elements are comes into the key value pair. Okay, so we need to iterate it based upon the key value. Okay, so what we can do here, card items dot each do, and then we need to use key and then value. Okay, and then end this block. Now what you can do, you can remove these two render elements, and now just you need to use the single render element within this loop. However, it will execute that three times. Okay, or based upon the number of key value pairs in our hash. Okay, and now what we can do here, that we can set card title as the key. Okay, and then card details as the value. Okay, and let me show you here again in the controller that what we did, we created this card item hash, and the keys are these like these titles. So total task is the key here, and its value is this instance variable at the total number of tasks. This is the key, this is the very value, this is the key, and this is the value. Okay, now we set it. So now what we need to do, that we just need to refresh our page to check whether this is working or not. So if you come to the browser and refresh your page, you will still see that it is working in same. Okay, however, let me correct the typo here. It is not total work hours, it is total work days. Okay, and if you refresh the other page, you can still see the same data, and if you refresh here, you can still see the same data. Okay, so this is the better way to render your partial dynamically. Okay, because sometimes you need to iterate the partial sorry, sometimes you need to iterate your hash or array, and then display your render your partial based upon some dynamic local variable. So here you can see that we use the single render statement here within the loop, and we are passing the hash keys as the card title and hash values as the card details. Okay, so this is how we can use our partials in better way. Okay, and working with partial is more important whenever you work with the rails, because I'm telling again that partials are the best way to refactor your view chunks or view piece of code, or to simplify your views. Okay, now whenever we need these kind of cards, we can simply render our partial like that, just by providing the card title and the card details. Okay, however, if this is specific to this timesheets directory, so I created it here. If you need similar cards at other places, you can create this in the shared folder of your view directory, and you can use it across your application. Okay, and it will work in the same way. So try to practice the partials as more as you can, and that will make you better with partials, and you can comfortably refactor your view chunks in better way. So that's all for this lecture, and in the next lecture we will talk about some different topic and some different improvements, and that might be related to queries. Okay, so thanks for watching this. We will meet into the next lecture. Till then, tata, goodbye, take care, and stay safe.